Hey guys, PaulTheSurfJunkie here. I've been having a hard time really getting any accurate weather maps or anything that I can show you guys since yesterday. Seems like they don't like us on the internet showing the real news and weather. So anyway, this is what I got. First of all, I made a mistake yesterday, and this is the best map that I can explain what's going on. First of all, hurricanes spin this way, not this way. But if you look at the map yesterday, the clouds, like they are here, they're catching up into the system, and they're still coming across the state. So what's really happening is that this storm is spinning this way, picking up the chemicals from the oil spill, and then feeder bands are breaking off, going right over that area from the oil spill, over the infected areas, and then they're coming this way across the state. If you notice, there's another swirl here. We got another big wave coming here. We've got all sorts of moisture feeding in here. Okay, let me show you the track that they're giving us. Now, my prediction is going to be somewhere between Corpus Christi and Houston area. However, they're saying it's going to hit Mexico, Brownsville. And they're saying the oil spill area is this big. Now, we know the oil spill area is about that big. Now, look at this. I'm going to go back and forth. This is swirling here, sending these outer bands here, okay? We got Mexico, Texas, Corpus Christi, Houston, Louisiana, Florida. Okay. And these storms, this is spinning here. These are all feeding in. This is going across the oil. And some of this is getting out and feeding into here and going up into South Carolina, North Carolina. Now, I got reports from one of my viewers, and I'm going to post the link, that they closed a river in South Carolina due to tar substance. Now, I don't know if it's related, but at this point, we have to look at everything. We have another swirl over here, like I said. So things are fitting to heat up. I don't know the exact situation, but what I do know is about swell and storm surge. Okay? Because we got a little swell today. We got a 3-foot swell here from this tiny little rotation that's been out there for a couple of days. Now, this rotation here, if the storm hits here, the worst storm surge is going to be, it's going to be on this side of the storm, from what I know. So the storm surge and the ground swell is going to affect this oil. And we have the oil that's low, hanging low in the bottom of the ocean due to the Corexic and the emulsification and the toxic blobs that we've been talking about for weeks. And that ground swell is going to push it into shallower water from the bottom. Now, ground swell, when you're surfing, the ground swell brings in cold bottom water, and sometimes you get upwellings of dead stuff and sediment. You know, so knowing that, then I know that these ground swells are going to affect the Corexic and the oil that's blobbed up on the bottom. So I just think they're downplaying this. I want to report it some more. I want to clear up that I did say the storm was rotating this way when it's really rotating this way, spitting off clouds, and those clouds are getting dragged across us. And then we have something else rotating here. I can foresee this coming up in here, rotating, collecting the rain and clouds from this storm and turning into another hurricane and coming across the state this way. So if you live in this area, man, you might want to start thinking about getting out. And if you live in this area, you might want to start thinking about what you're going to do when you decide to get out. Because if we're going to know, when this storm surge pushes this oil up in this area, we're going to know what the extent of this is going to be. So anyway, this is my Surf Junkie report. I am going to be on the Intel Hub tonight at 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, and I'm going to be calling in. I'm going to leave some links to that at the bottom, and I have another weather report. It's the very next weather report from the very same weather station as yesterday, where they used the very same box over here. They actually used the box over here on top of this storm, but this storm's not really anything. It's just you don't really see it, and the box is clear. So if you go back and look at my video from yesterday where I put the box over the state of Florida, and it was darkened, and then they used the same box the next day, clear. So I don't know what evidence that is, but I wanted to pass this along. I don't know if I mentioned before, but I've been somewhat under cyber attack for the last 24 hours, and we'll see you tonight on the Intel Hub. Thanks, guys. Surf Junkie out.